Well, all he had was $350 to his name when he moved to Jacksonville. A short time later, he was mysteriously murdered.
And adding to that mystery, his mother says she received a strange phone call about her son the day before he died. Katie Jeffries continues her Unsolved series and has more on the murder of Jason Pelishek.
It was a humid July morning in 2012. Employees were headed into a local law office in downtown, but they noticed something around the side of the building. It was the body of Jason Pelishek, shoved right up against the bulkhead wall behind the pods unit, killed by blunt force trauma.
There was a lot of evidence at the scene, but it had been worked, but there was nothing that was really marrying up to anything that would lead us to the killer.
At just 30 years old, Jason's life had ended. JSO says he was homeless and staying at the Sulzbacher Center. But Jason's mother says you need to know her son's full story. Jason was Jesse McKinnon's first child. She says growing up, he was bright and intelligent. She spoke with us by phone from her home in Wisconsin.
He was always very intense. When he learned something, he learned it completely through, and then he would get bored and go on to something else.
She says he was a good big brother, and as a young teenager, Jason was really into computers. This is one his father gave to him that he assembled himself. But at 15 years old, there came a turning point.
Then he found drugs.
It began with Oxycontin, ecstasy, then opioids. He even spent a brief time in jail for theft. Jesse says Jason wanted to get his life back on the right track. He even tried to join the Air Force. He had good test results, but with the arrests on his record, he was turned away. She says he then tried a methadone program, but things only got worse. By then, he had become a shell of the person she had once known.
And he had, I don't know, $350, and he decided to buy a bus ticket to Florida to change it all.
Jason came to Jacksonville, lived on the streets for about a year and a half. In the days before his death, JSO says he was staying at the Sulzbacher Center. The day before he died, Jesse got an ominous phone call.
The guy that was with Jason the day before this happened and that had called me, and he was saying, you know, you got to get him out of here. It's dangerous here. I don't even know who this guy was.
Jesse says she told Jason to stay at the center and she would be down to get him. The next day, July 23, 2012, she was notified her son was dead. In time, his case was moved over to the cold case unit at JSO, where Sergeant Dan Jansen says more evidence was processed, and they entered the case into VICAP, a program that looks at crimes with similar MOs.
Well, it just so happens that we have one that was similar to it, and so we developed a person of interest on that, and we're looking at this person with a close eye at this point.
Sergeant Jansen declined to give specifics on the person of interest, but says the person had ties to the Jacksonville area around the time Jason was killed and possibly committed a similar murder in another city in Florida. As for Jessie, she says she tries to focus on the good times she had with Jason, before the drugs, before he was homeless, but hopes maybe somebody will come forward.
People see things that sometimes they think are insignificant, and they really do hold value, and they might say, well, you know, I saw somebody walking out from behind that business, but that was 6 o'clock in the morning, so it probably wasn't anything to do with it. But if you have any kind of information that you think might even be related to this in any way, shape, or form, let us decide, you know, how important or not important it is, because sometimes the little things for us are the big things.
If you know anything about the murder of Jason Pelishek, please call the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers at 1-866-845-TIPS.
Now, for more local unsolved cases, look for the link inside this story. You'll find that on our website, firstcoastnews.com.